What is our drink of the day, then? What would you be recommending?
Well, I think a nice gin and tonic would be good for this
Oh,
week, wouldn't
yes.
it?
Oh, okay.
Gin and tonic on a Tuesday, I
Ice
think
and a
so.
slice?
Ice and a slice.
Okay,
Yeah,
very
That'll
good.
do.
why not?
Okay. All right, I think you're going with the grain there. Today's confession comes from Maggie, who gets today's smart speaker. She has a very condensed writing style, and in the opening sentence, you will have already made your judgment.
Oh,
That's
Ooh.
what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Hi, Simon. I'm Maggie. Here is my confession. I'm guessing many of your listeners have a similar story to tell. My partner was made redundant whilst I was pregnant, so to treat himself, he bought a very expensive £400 jumper made of some fancy wool. There you go. There,
400 quid on a jumper.
there you go, instantly.
Buying a jumper.
So, he's not even celebrating the fact that his partner's pregnant. Anyway, my partner is Jeremy, and I just think that you need to know all of these facts. You might wonder about the financial wisdom being exhibited here.
Yeah.
Do you need a new jumper? And if so, maybe a cheap one would be wise. No? You want a top designer-style jumper? Ah, carry on, you know best. So he wore it once and he loved it. I then had our son. The first week after the little one was born, my partner wore his jumper a second time and put it in the wash basket. Being the loving mother and partner, I did the washing that week after giving birth.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Can't think why.
Yeah.
And I didn't check what I had washed before I put it in the tumble dryer. I mean, what with everything you can imagine that I wasn't... Anyway. You might think that he would do his own laundry, what with the babe in arms and everything, but that was not his way. When I got to emptying the dryer, I pulled out an item that looked like what could only be described as a piece of fuzzy felt. For younger listeners, this was a fabric toy which had a flocked backing board, and you stuck felt shapes onto it to make a farmyard, a zoo, or a spaceship or something. I think I missed most of that.
Yeah.
The shapes were made of thin, compressed fabric, nice for making an animal scene, but not really for wearing, especially if you spent a fortune that you didn't have on the latest style jumper. At the time, I couldn't work out what this thing I'd pulled from the washing machine was. So I checked the tag and then realised it was the £400 jumper that my partner had worn only twice. I tried to soak it in fabric conditioner and all the other tricks I looked up online. I stretched it, pulled it, trod on it, tugged it, rolled it, swung it round and round, but to no avail. I eventually gave up, and in my head I thought, well, it'll fit my son when he's about 6.
Yeah.
And I've hid it away in my new chest of drawers. So many people are going, I've done that. I have absolutely done that. For weeks afterwards, Jeremy couldn't work out what had happened to his jumper and kept asking if I'd seen it. I just kept telling him that it must be somewhere. I eventually confessed to my mum, who burst out laughing and said, you can never show him that. He'll go bananas. Well, after 3 months, 3 months after the unfortunate shrinking, my mum had come to visit, and Jeremy came in to say he was looking for his jumper again. Well, my mum looked at me and laughed and said, you better tell him. Firstly, thanks, Mum. I had sworn you to secrecy. My partner then wanted to know what was happening. So I told Jeremy I had some good news and some bad news. The bad news is...
Go on.
His jumper got shrunk the week after the boy was born, but the good news is the newborn babe has a £400 jumper to wear when he's about 6. Well, Jeremy wasn't impressed, and my mum couldn't stop laughing. It's fine for her. My son is now 5. It's still a tad big for him, and my partner, Jeremy, still to this day, says if he can't find an item of clothing, he assumes that I've hidden it. It's like he's on Law and Order. Also, while I'm here, he still hasn't found his favourite red silk briefs. Or his favourite skin-tight jeans.
Oh,
I mean, you're not a teenager, mate. Both of these items are at the back of the chest of drawers and also about half the size they're supposed to be. But maybe if he's got a complaint, he can do his own washing. I know I came clean because of my mum, but if I had it my way, I would never have said anything, and I'd have just produced our son in the garment when he was 6. I think I need forgiveness because I would happily still be carrying this on 5 years after the event. Yours, not very repentant, Maggie, with today's story. And I suspect that there are a lot of people that have laundry stories tucked away somewhere, and they'll have a drawer where either they've messed up the washing or their children have clothes that they don't like very much. And, your red trousers, I haven't seen them for ages at the bottom, right at the bottom. I'm not saying that that's happened in our house or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sister Susie, the voice of responsibility.
Well, Maggie, I thought that was a very great story. I've got a couple of things who I don't forgive. I don't forgive Jeremy. He should have done his own washing to start with. Also, he should have done his own washing anyway. Never mind the fact that you've just had a baby. That's, if there's any time to do the washing in the house, maybe that is the time. And I also don't forgive your mum either, because she shouldn't have dobbed you in. It was a secret. I would have kept it with you, Maggie, I promise. But Maggie, I do forgive you, because he shouldn't have spent that much money on a jumper anyway. Not when he was made redundant. That's just silly.
My partner was made redundant while I was pregnant, so to treat himself, he bought an expensive jumper.
Treat himself.
Made a
Should have treated you, Maggie.
Brother from another gutter.
Yes, I'm gonna go with Susie on this one. I mean, I'm quite apart. Let's not even address the red silk pants. What's that about?
Oh, we've all got those.
No, I don't think so. Who can't do that? It's not rocket science. Put it on mixed fabrics. Who can't do their own washing up? And also, 400 quid for a jumper. What's it made of? Saffron? Well, dreams? Saffron. What? Saffron. It's 10 times as much as you would ever pay for a jumper.
All right.
Definitely forgiven.
Okay.